Welcome back to Real Family Secrets. Grab your snacks, get comfortable. The people in these stories had every chance to behave themselves. They just chose wrong. Drop a comment and be sure to subscribe. You're going to love it here. My name is Stanley Morrison, and I was married to Kristen for 30 years. 2 weeks ago, at the reading of her will, her children from her first marriage received a penthouse, a $17 million company, and a yacht. I received an envelope. Inside was a one-way plane ticket to Zurich, and everyone in that room laughed. I met Kristen when I was 34, working as a high school history teacher in Connecticut. She was a widow then, already wealthy from her first husband's investment firm, already raising 3 teenagers who never once in 30 years stopped seeing me as an intruder in their mother's life. I never asked for money. I never touched her accounts beyond the household budget we shared. I taught for another 22 years after we married, and I loved her, plainly and completely, in a way that had nothing to do with anything she owned. Kristen passed 6 weeks ago, quietly, in her sleep, after a long decline that both of us had quietly accepted was coming. I sat with her every single night of that final year. Her children visited on holidays and called it devotion. The reading of the will took place in a downtown law office, a conference room with a long mahogany table and a view of the city that felt entirely wrong for what was about to happen. Margaret, the estate attorney, read through the bequests methodically. The penthouse to Diana, the company shares to Marcus, the yacht, and a substantial trust to Thomas. Ma'am, and to my husband, Stanley, Margaret read. I leave the enclosed envelope. Diana leaned forward, her eyes glittering. The gold digger gets an envelope, she said, not quite under her breath. Gold digger. The word escaped before I could stop it. Oh, please, Stanley, Diana said. We all know what this was. You married our mother for her money, and now you're finding out what she really thought of you. My hands trembled as I opened the envelope. Inside was a single airline ticket, one way to Zurich, departing the following morning. The room erupted. Thomas doubled over laughing. She bought you a ticket out of the country, he said. That's perfect. Here's your inheritance, Stanley. A one-way ticket as far from us as possible. I stood in that hallway afterward holding a plane ticket to a country I'd never visited, where I knew no one, where I didn't speak the language. 30 years of marriage, and this was apparently what I was worth to a family I'd never truly belonged to. I almost didn't board that flight. Some part of me wanted to simply disappear into ordinary grief and let the humiliation fade quietly. But something about the specificity of it, Zurich exactly, not just away, kept nagging at the back of my mind. I landed in Zurich the following afternoon, jet-lagged, grieving, and entirely unsure why I'd actually gotten on the plane. Tucked inside the ticket envelope, I found a small card I'd missed the first time, an address, and a name, Heinrich Vogel, Zurich Cantonal Private Banking. I found the bank the next morning, a quiet, unremarkable building near the lake. A receptionist checked a list, made a brief phone call, and within minutes an older man in an impeccable suit greeted me personally. Mr. Morrison, he said, I am Heinrich Vogel. Your wife was my client for 11 years. I've been expecting you. Expecting me? She's been dead for 6 weeks. I only just arrived. She left very specific instructions, Vogel said. You were to receive the ticket through the will, exactly as written, with no further explanation given to the family. She was quite firm that no one else learn of this account's existence until you arrived here in person. He led me to a private office and opened a thin folder. Your wife established this account 11 years ago, he said. Funded initially with an inheritance from her own mother that she never disclosed to her children. Over the years, she added to it privately, through investments her children never knew existed. How much? I asked, my voice barely working. As of this morning, Vogel said, the account holds just under $41 million. It is held in your name alone, Mr. Morrison. It always has been. I sat in that office and wept, not from the number, though the number was staggering, but from the realization of what she'd actually done. Kristen hadn't sent me away with an insult. She'd sent me somewhere her children would never think to look, carrying a message only I would understand once I arrived. Vogel handed me a sealed letter, the last item in the folder. I opened it right there, my hands shaking. My darling Stanley, it began. If you're reading this, then the ticket did exactly what I hoped. It made you angry enough and curious enough to get on that plane instead of simply grieving quietly at home. I built this account so my children could never touch it, could never contest it, and could never turn it into another weapon in the endless war they've been fighting since their father died. I let them believe you got nothing, because I needed them to stop watching you long enough for you to get here safely, with the account already established and unreachable by any lawyer they could hire. Mirror, 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 mirror. You never once asked me for anything in 30 years, Stanley. That is exactly why I built something they could never take from you. Go live, my love. Somewhere quiet, somewhere far from their noise. You earned peace, and now you have the means to actually have it. I sat in that Zurich office for almost an hour after finishing the letter, holding 30 years of quiet, complicated love in a single page of handwriting. I returned to Connecticut 2 weeks later, briefly, only to formally decline any further involvement in the estate proceedings, and to collect a few personal belongings. Diana, Marcus, and Thomas never learned about the Zurich account. As far as they know, I simply flew away quietly, exactly as they'd mocked me for doing. Oh, I live near Lake Geneva now, in a small house Kristen would have loved, close enough to the water to hear it most mornings. I still teach, occasionally, tutoring local students in English history. Not because I need the income, but because Kristen always said idle hands make for a heavy heart. I think about that conference room sometimes, the laughter, the envelope, the specific cruelty of being handed something they assumed was worthless in front of an audience. I've stopped being angry about it. They gave me exactly what my wife wanted them to give me. The appearance of nothing, wrapped around the beginning of everything. If this story moved you, subscribe for more real family stories, and tell us in the comments, do you think Kristen's plan was brilliant or too risky?
You walking laughing with your friends, whole room starts moving to your tempo. Yeah, your tempo. Yeah. Phone keys buzzing, but you got my focus. Name on my tongue like a favorite song. Sneakers on, hair a little messy. Still you hit different from everyone around. You spin the check, steal my spot on purpose. Say I've been hiding from the fun too long. You flip the script, flip my day in seconds. Turn routine into a sing-along. Yeah. You say stop playing, come closer. I feel the drum line in my chest. Every word you drop is pressure. Got me trying to do my best. Let's crank the volume till the neighbors learn your name. Let the rhythm trace the outline of your frame. Every little move you make rewrites my day. We turn this simple moment to a wave. You say you're busy but you never miss my calls. We keep on talking through the late AM. You send a picture with no warning. Now every beat I build starts with you again. You like to tease and cut the distance. Pull on my hoodie, drag me to the floor. You say don't overthink this moment. Just sing it like you never did before. We don't need a stage for this feeling. Yeah. Living room can be our world all day. You turn my doubts in the back and vocal. Yeah. Lift me up and keep my timing straight. So let's crank the volume till the neighbors learn. Let the rhythm trace the outline of your frame. Every little move you'll make rewrites my day. We turn this simple moment to a wave. If tomorrow tries to pull you far from me, you walking laughing with your friends, whole room start moving to your tempo. Oh no. Yeah, tempo. Yeah. Phone keys buzzing, but you got my focus. Name on my tongue like a favorite song. Sneakers on, hair a little messy. Still you hit different from everyone around. You spin the check, steal my spot on purpose. Say I've been hiding from the fun too long. You flip the script, flip my day in seconds. Turn routine into a sing-along. Yeah. You say stop playing, come closer. I feel the drum line in my chest. Every word you drop is pressure. Got me trying to do my best. Let's crank the volume till the neighbors learn your name. Let the rhythm trace the outline of your frame. Every little move you make rewrites my day. We turn this simple moment to a wave. Oh, you say you're busy, but you never miss my calls. We keep on talking through the late AM. You send a picture with no warning. Now every beat I build starts with you again. You like to tease and cut the distance. Pull on my hoodie, drag me to the floor. You say don't overthink this moment. Just sing it like you never did before. We don't need a stage for this feeling. Yeah, living room can be our world tour day. You turn my doubts into backing vocals. Yeah, lift me up and keep my timing straight. So let's crank the volume till the neighbors learn your name. Let the rhythm trace the outline of your frame. Every little move you make rewrites my day. We turn this simple moment to a wave. If tomorrow tries to pull you far from me, I'll lace my melody into your routine. You laugh, you lean and say don't forget this sound. Now every beat I chase is where you're found. Oh, no. Every beat I chase is where you're found. Oh, no.